You are watching SHOUTcraft, exciting entry-level esports with myself, TotalBiscuit. Yes, indeed, folks. Welcome to the start of this SHOUTcraft showcase brought to you by Aquatuning. The purpose of this is to showcase a best-of-7 matchup between rANDY and Pureball of Team Dignitas. Now, this is for £100 or $160 or whatever the hell your local currency happens to be. It is brought to you by Aquatuning, so thanks to them for supporting the UK esports scene with this. This is a bit of a test match, and this should hopefully go down fairly well, and there will be more of this in the future. Those of you who started watching me when I was doing my WoW stuff, I did do an awful lot of StarCraft 2 casting during the beta. I did a couple of hundred matches at least live, and I do intend to bring the live shows back once I've got the machine to do it, and there will be a lot of StarCraft 2 content on this channel alongside the WoW stuff going forward. So this is just to start you off and get you used to the fact that that's going to be happening. This is going to be good, folks. rANDY versus Pureball. It's good stuff. It's very entertaining. That I can guarantee you for a fact. Both are fantastic players. I will cast this in the way that I always cast it, which is fairly simple. I like to keep it nice and exciting, keep things moving along. I don't tend to use a lot of jargon or technical terms. I'm not big into the analysis. I'm very much a play-by-play and color commentator. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's kick it off with the first match of this best-of-7 series. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is TotalBiscuit here with the SHOUTcraft Showcase. This is a best-of-7 show match series brought to you by Aquatuning. Our two competitors today will be Pureball in the orange trunks playing Terran versus rANDY in the red trunks playing Zerg right here on the scrap station to kick us off right here. This is a money match, folks. There's £100 up for grabs. That's $160 at the moment. So it's a fairly nice prize pot for an hour and a bit's worth of work. And I'm looking forward to see what these guys can do. They have squared off a couple of times already, actually, most recently at the I-40 event, where Pureball actually won that tournament and walked away with £1,000 prize pool. rANDY came in second there, and they're looking to go at it once again right here. rANDY looking to hopefully reclaim the title over Pureball today. Pureball, a member of Team Dignitas, as you might be aware. They are the UK's premier esports team. Okay, rANDY with the extractor trick right there, as you might imagine. Nice, quick, extra drone for him, and he's moving his overlord over here. No big surprise, that's what they're for. They're for spying, they're for prying, they're evil little creatures. I wouldn't say so little, they're bulbous, horrible, evil creatures. What can I say? At least Innova called them space crabs. I would sort of disagree with that to some degree. More like space squid, but whatever the case, it's a nice map to do that on because you can float all the way over here, you can have a look, and the Terran can't really do anything about it until they get some guns on the ground, which he can't do until he gets his barracks out. Nice little having a look round here. rANDY was waiting by the looks of it to go with a fast expansion, not going to get it, because Pureball's going to dump down an engineering bay. So that's going to force rANDY to do a different strategy. Fast expansion, very, very popular with the Zerg. No big surprises there. They try and dump down their expansion as quickly as possible, get an economic advantage and get a numbers advantage right there and hopefully swamp the enemy. It's not going to happen for the time being, though. Pureball is saying absolutely not. You do not have planning permission for this here hatchery. Aside from that, rANDY sorting out his spawning pool, so he's just going to have to go with a different strategy right here. No fast expansion for the time being. Pureball finally got his barracks up right here, pumping out a Marine for a little bit of defense, hopefully going to chase that Overlord off. It's not going to get there in time, though. That Overlord should be able to scoot to safety, and there with the refinery and a quick upgrade to his orbital command center. Going to get that early economic advantage. That's exactly what he wants, and that'll certainly help, considering he has prevented his opponent there from building the fast hatchery. Whatever the case, he's still going to have to cancel that engineering bay at some point because that's 150 minerals or so that would otherwise be spent on something useful. Going with the block right here. It takes a little bit of time to block off the ramp on the scrap station, but that's simply because of the width of it right there. Usually you can get a block with a 2 supply depots and a barracks, or indeed just plump down 2 barracks for something a little bit more secure. Supply depots a little bit tougher than they used to be. They actually got a little bit of hit points in the latest patch, but aside from that, they are a little bit vulnerable in comparison to, say, a barracks or a factory. Block it off with the factory right there. Going for the quick factory. There's a couple of possibilities there. With the factory, you can now get the Reaper speed upgrade. It is required, in fact, in order to get the Reaper speed upgrade now. They made big changes to that. The old 5 barracks Reaper strategy and indeed the Reaper Rush that used to be the cornerstone of a lot of competitive play on the Terran side has been altered. That is no longer as viable as it used to be, so we're going to see some different strategies right here. And honestly, I haven't casted a couple of months, so it's good to see a little bit of variation on what was happening around the time. First blood right there to the Terran, and Annihilation. Down they go. No problems there at all for Pureball. Nice, quick response to that. He was looking for the scout. He didn't get it. Looking for a quick rush right there. I'm going to drive the Overlord away. Randy's Overlord in no danger of dying at this point in time, however. Good placement of the Overlords as well, giving him a nice little bit of visibility, as you can see around there. Off the side is a good place. Got just a tiny bit of visibility to the side there, and that's out of range of Pureball's guns at the moment. Starport coming up right here. This is the 1-1-1. It's the barracks, the factory, and the starport. There comes the tech lab right here. Hellion coming up, looking for a swapperoo possibly. There we go. He's going to move that out there. I think he's going to dump his starport at the front, and I would expect to maybe see some banshees fairly early on for Pureball. Pureball now sorting out his reactor, looking for a whole bunch more marines. No problems with that at all. Nice and flexible strategy. Going for the quick upgrade to the lair right here for Randy. Expect to see some Mutalisk or Hydralisk play coming up fairly shortly. In comes the Hellion to have a look around. He's going to be able to spot it right there, and there's not an awful lot he can do about it, honestly. Looking for a quick bit of harass on the middle line right there. Fairly good, but one's not going to really do the job. He managed to take out one drone, but that's going to go down. Second drone right there. That was definitely worth the cost, and he's pushing him away as quickly as possible right there. Speedling upgrade has come in for Randy, so that should work out for him. Viking coming up right here just to try and harass some Overlords, I would imagine. Second Hellion coming in right here, and he's looking for the kite. It's not going to happen. Surround, very nice surround right there. Pushing him back, pushing him back. No losses yet for Randy. Still pushing him all the way back. Pureball, and back to the safety of his base. There's the Viking harass coming in. He's going to try and bring down some Overlords, slow down the build-up of the army for Randy. He's going to be able to do that. One Overlord coming out there, and Randy now supply blocks. He's going to be forced to build a couple more. Evolution Chamber coming up right here, and we're looking to see what he can go for. He's got his Roach Warren. He's looking for his lair. He's got his lair right there, and right now he's just getting a couple of upgrades and just trying to build as much gas as possible. 4 gas coming up right here, looking for some gas-heavy stuff. As I say, possibly Mutalisks, but bear in mind there are already Vikings in the air. He's going to have to try and outnumber that. Spore Crawler coming up right here to try and deal with that. Viking harassment once again. Queen trying to bring the Viking down, taking a little bit of work. Overlord down, and Pureball loses the Viking right there. Still, that's going to delay what Randy can do, but pumping out Overlords is way quicker than pumping out Vikings. Still going for the harassment there, and more Hellions on the way for Pureball. Keeping on the pressure, trying to bottle up his opponent. Should work fairly well. Randy trying to take him out with a Roach is not going to happen. Only a couple of shots coming in right here, and round the side, going for the middle line. It's a good harassment by the looks of it. Very good harassment. One down. Oh, yes, this is going to be very good indeed. You're going to have to push him away, but the Roach is just not quite fast enough. Doesn't have the Roach speed upgrade. That's problematic. That is a massive amount of damage done to the economic line of Randy, and it's going to have to be rebuilt at this point in time. We've got more Vikings coming in right there. 3 this time. Going to take an awful lot of time to bring those down, especially with just Queens on the ground. Needs way, way better anti-air than that. The Roach strategy is not going to suit him at all at this point in time. Randy's still ahead in terms of it, simply due to the benefit of already having another base, but he did take some economic damage there, and Pureball looking to catch up at this point in time. Pureball's fairly secure at the moment. We'll have to have a look and see what he's doing. He's still going for the Vikings, but he's also got Medivacs coming out right here. We're looking for an M, and M. That's Marines, Marauders, and Medivacs. Looking for a drop by the looks of it. Yep, there's a lot of vulnerable spots. He spotted them when he went in there, so he should be able to go in there. He's got 2 almost full Medivacs right there with an escort of 4 Vikings moving along here, and that could be absolutely lethal. Question is, what has he got in response? Well, he's got his Roaches, but they're out of position, and here's the drop right there. Out of viewing range. Definitely out of viewing range for Randy right there, and he's even going to land all of those Vikings just to give him a little bit extra firepower. That's going to be absolutely lethal. Going in for the middle line right there. Okay, Spore Crawler coming down. Moving in the Queen, but that's all he's got. He's going to have to pull back to his other base at this point in time. He knows he doesn't have the firepower. He's only got 4 Roaches up. Randy in an awful lot of trouble right here. Big damage done to his economic line. You can see it right there. Big delay. Going for the hatchery, and that's going to go down. Nothing can really stop that. Looking for a flank with the Speedlings. Roaches coming in right here as well. He's going to try and bring in his forces and just try and crush him against him. Oh, it's going to be dangerous. That's going to be lethal. There goes the stim right there. It's a massive amount of economic damage. He's forcing Pureball away, but only just so much damage done to the Zerg player right there. Zerg player's going to come out on top, but only just. Nicely done right there, but again, a loss of a hatchery and a massive amount of drones is not going to suit Randy at all at this point in time. Randy pumping out the drones, got an awful lot more on the way, and looking for a counterattack with the Roaches. At this point in time, unfortunately, he's still got those Vikings in the backup. He wasn't able to repulse it. 5 Roaches now popped up out of nowhere. Grabs him and gets the hell out of there as quickly as possible. No anti-air, of course. Doesn't have the Hydralisk Den, and it's unfortunate because he really could have capitalized on that. And Pureball, just as a parting gift, going to take a couple of Overlords for good measure. Randy not in a good position right now at all. Forced onto the defensive in a fairly major way. Now, the question is, what is Pureball going to be popping out? Well, he's going for siege tanks right now, looking to try and crack those roaches. They should do a fairly good job of it, but I'd be more concerned about those Vikings at this point in time. He's going to need a lot to repulse that. He just doesn't have anything other than a queen. The queen doesn't have the speed. He knows it. Going to try and grab that Viking. Couple of HP left. It's not going to do the job. Question is, what has Randy got? Well, Randy's going for Baneling Nest right now and also looking for the Burrow upgrade, looking for an ambush on the next one of those that comes in. But Pureball's not going to let up. Absolutely no intention of that at all. Marines, Marauders on their way, and we've also got siege tanks. Randy's defense is not really looking up to snuff at this point in time. We have a look at unit count. He's got 7 roaches. He has nothing else. He lost all his speedlings at that point in time. Pureball now with the expansion, a little bit late, but of course with the Terran, you can afford to do that. He's not in any real trouble. He knows it. He knows in the commanding position. He just has to deliver the death blow. The problem is, of course, if you leave the Zerg alone for too long, then you can run into massive problems. The Zerg can rebuild very, very fast indeed, and I would not let Randy alone. No chance at all. That is a bad, bad idea. I've seen what this guy can do. He is really unbelievably dangerous. Randy now pushing his way through, and it looks like we're going to have a duel in the middle. And to be honest, the advantage firmly sitting with the Terran player at this point in time. I somehow don't think that those 7 roaches are going to be able to take all of that down. No chance at all. The question is, are either of them going to go for it? Pureball standing the line, just holding it, waiting for his opponent to come in. Not a lot of firepower there. Those rocks proving to be a tough obstacle for the roaches. They're gonna have to get their asses in gear. The war machine of the Terran really rolling it out right here. It's an awful lot of firepower. The gas is gonna help as well. To be honest, I'd maybe go for some more air superiority. The Zerg player still just doesn't have it. Centrifugal hooks coming up right here. We're looking for the Speedling and Baneling strategy, but is it going to be enough? And more to the point, is it going to be quick enough? That's a very dangerous looking force. I mean, look at the air superiority there with 6 Vikings. And there it goes, so the roaches don't stand a frickin' chance. No Burrow at all at this point in time. Does he have it? The research is there. He's not going to bother with it, though. He knows that he's just going to be able to scanned out, no problem at all. Here come the Banelings from the side. The question is he going to have the time for it? Very, very slowly. He's going to have to avoid getting scanned out by the Banelings. There's the scan on the Banelings. Is he going to take him out? More to the point. Pulling back the roaches at this point in time. Spine Crawler's not going to hold out for too much longer. There come the Banelings in from the side. It's not good enough, though. Not good at all. Nice back off there by Pureball. Good micromanagement. And a strike from the last Baneling there. Oh, it's good stuff. But it's not good enough. Randy stuck on the defensive once again. A lot of damage done to Pureball's forces, but the firepower still in his... firmly in his hands at this point in time. He doesn't want to go on the ground, though. He's only got that one single siege tank. It's not going to be enough. Randy with more Banelings coming up right here, and that siege tank will get annihilated, especially if the centrifugal hooks upgrade is done, which it is. Makes them roll. It's very, very cute, but very, very lethal. It's what we like to see, folks. Banelings, very, very entertaining indeed. In the meantime, Pureball sorting out with another factory, looking for some heavy mechanized play here against the Banelings. I don't really blame him. Possible flanking attack might be coming in from Randy at this point in time. That's a lot of Banelings, ladies and gentlemen. More on the way, no doubt. We've got 9 there, 3 roaches and 25 speedlings available. He could swamp it. He knows he can swamp it. Speedlings taking the initial. There's the flank from the side. Speeding in right there. There go the stim packs. Is it going to be enough? Swarming around that siege tank. Siege tank's down. There we go. Nicely done. And Pureball having to back the hell away. But still, that lack of anti-air really hurting Randy. He could inflict an awful lot more damage if he just had something to shoot down the Vikings and the Medivacs. Pureball looking for a ground attack with the Vikings. They're not particularly great on the ground, but they're certainly good enough if all you've got to defend is a spine crawler and a queen. Lost one Viking right there, pushing on the queen. Queen is down, looking to swarm around with the speedlings. That's exactly what's going to be happening. He's going to lift them up. He lost one, but oh, nice sneaky spore crawler right there. Oh, Viking escapes on 8 HP. Baneling's keeping an eye out, doesn't want any more nasty drops. Randy might get back on the offensive at this point in time, but the question is, what does Pureball have to counter that with? Well, he's got an armory coming out, which, to me, would signal that he's going to go with the Thors. I don't really blame him there. The Thors will be very, very dangerous. Anti-armor units available for the Zerg, but he doesn't have all that many. Looking maybe to do a swarm with speedlings, which should do the job. But again, bear in mind, a Thor drop can be absolutely devastating. It's very quick, it's very lethal. You can take out high-value targets such as hatcheries and lairs. There's the drop on the back of the mineral line once again. Randy failing to defend the back of his mineral line. Not going to help him at all. He's going to regret that one because in comes the stim on the Marines, the Marauders. Swarm coming right back in. Is he going to pick him up? No, he's not. He's going to actually try and stand his ground. Lost a few, and there's the pickup. No Banelings. Managed to get there, drops him right there. He knows the anti-air's there, but look at that, absorbing a massive amount of Banelings. They just did not stand a chance. I don't know if Pureball did that on purpose, just to soak up an awful lot of Banelings for this next attack. It is possible. But still, I think that was fairly expensive. If we have a look at units lost, we'll see that Randy is certainly way behind on that one. 7,000 resources worth lost versus 5,000 for Pureball. Pureball still in the commanding position. If we have a look at income, then what we're going to see is things are fairly equal right now, but Pureball way ahead on the Harvesters. So much damage done to those economic lines over and over and over again to Randy. Needs to get the Hydras out, needs to get some kind of anti-air, and still he doesn't have it. Infestation Pit and the Spire available. Question is, are we going to get the Mutalisks? Well, we've got an Infestor. We've got 2 Infestors right now, in fact. There's the drop once again. Swarmed by the Speedlings and the Banelings, but a lot more damage still done by Pureball. Tank was taken out there, so that's not too bad at all. Lost a fair chunk of resources, but still. That's a lot of Banelings spent. A lot of gas used. Infestor to back him up, looking for a counterattack by the looks of it. In terms of what's in progress, we still don't see any Mutalisks at all. No real anti-air to speak of. But with the Banelings, it's too slow. Just a fraction too slow. There's the scan. He knows he has to get out of it. Burrowed Banelings is very dangerous. An experienced player will, of course, scan ahead for it. But still, if you do it in plain sight, that's not going to help you. In they come, and very little damage done right there. Lost the very small vanguard of his Marines right there, but I wouldn't be too worried about that. Looking for the flanking attack once again. Here come the Infestors. Is the Infestor going to get there in time? There's the Fungal Growth. Locks them down from both sides. There's the flanking maneuver, but it doesn't help because he's got 3 of those siege tanks deployed. Roach is annihilated. All you see is blood and guts. Randy gives it up, and the first game goes to Pureball.